One of the most frustrating parts about using AI image generators is trying to keep a character consistent. And no matter what settings you use, the results keep changing and you never get the same character twice. But after weeks of testing Nano Banana, I found a way to actually lock in a character and generate images that stay consistent across every prompt. So in this video, I'll show you step by step how to create consistent characters inside Nano Banana and how to reuse them across any project. So how do you actually create your consistent character with Nano Banana? Well, first off, you need to have a strong starting image. If the image you're starting with isn't strong, then honestly, you're never going to get a good enough result later. So that's kind of the first thing to keep in mind. The tool I like to use for creating my starting characters with AI is called OpenArt. I like using it because it keeps all the best models in one place. So instead of jumping between different sites or accounts, I can just log in and get straight to creating. And the nice thing is, it's not just for images. You can also use it for video and even audio, which makes the whole process a lot smoother if you're working on multiple projects. When you log into OpenArt, this is basically the homepage you get met with. And on the left side, you want to click the image button to open up the image workflow. Once you do that, you can access OpenArt's image generator, and that's where we're going to create our starting image. Now for the model selection, I'm going to use OpenArt Photorealistic. The reason is pretty simple. Nano Banana is amazing when it comes to editing, but OpenArt Photorealistic is just way better at generating super realistic starting images from text prompts. So it makes more sense to start here and then move into Nano Banana later. So that's what I'm going with here. And then comes the prompt. You don't have to overcomplicate this at all, especially if you don't have something super specific in mind. I'm just going to go with something extremely basic because later on we're going to be transforming this character. So in my case, I'm just going with a 25-year-old girl, white t-shirt, gray sweatpants, white shoes, full white background, full body shot, just standing naturally. That's it, super straightforward. This is the image I got back. And yeah, this looks good. It's natural, clean, and very realistic, and it's gonna work well as a base. So I'll just download this image because this is the one we're going to be using when we start creating characters with Nano Banana. You can also just find something online if you want, or you can create it with any other AI image generator. The point is just that you need a strong base image to start from. And with that said, to actually access Nano Banana, I'm just going to head over to Google AI Studio because that's where Nano Banana runs, and that's where we'll be creating the images. Now for the first prompt, we're going to start with something simple, something that a lot of different models actually fail on pretty easily, and that is changing the environment. Basically, what we're going to do is just take our character and put her into something completely different. So to begin with, you want to click the little plus icon and upload your starting photo, the one I created earlier in OpenArt. After that, you upload your second image, which is the environment you want your character to be in. For me, I'm using this desert photo. It's instantly going to be a very different look, and it's going to show you just how good Nano Banana actually is when it comes to character consistency. Now for the prompt, you don't need to overcomplicate it too much. You just want enough detail so the AI understands the concept of what you're going for. Otherwise, it might just slap your character onto the background like a really bad Photoshop. So here's what I wrote. Place the woman from the first image into the desert background from the second image. She should be standing naturally on the cracked ground with dead trees and orange sand dunes behind her. Keep her outfit the same, white t-shirt, gray sweatpants, and sneakers. Make the lighting warm and cinematic, like golden hour with soft shadows on the ground. Ensure she blends seamlessly into the scene with realistic scale and perspective, clear focus, and slightly dramatic tones. That last part is especially important because it helps the AI correct the images and fit everything into the same color scheme. And when that happens, the result just looks way better. So after I've done all that, I just click run and let's see what comes out. And as you can see, our character is seamlessly integrated into the photo. This is a really good result. She's standing super naturally in the environment. Even the shadows line up. If you look at the trees in the background, shadows stretch out across the cracked desert floor, and our character has the exact same thing going on. So for a first test, I'd say this is a very strong result. One more thing I want to point out here is that Nano Banana Banana doesn't regenerate the photo from scratch. It actually edits the image you upload and fits your character into the new one. And that's important, because a lot of AIs will completely regenerate parts of the picture, which makes your character drift and change over time. Nano Banana doesn't do that, and that's one of the reasons it's so good for consistency. So now what we want to do is take this photo, download it, and then use it as the base for our next one. Because in this next generation, we're going to be testing something else. I want to show you just how good AI actually is at keeping angles and reference photos consistent. For this one, we're going to change out the pose of our character to this new pose right here. And to do this, it's actually really simple. You just insert both of your images. Make sure your original one, the one you want to edit, is the first image you upload. And then for the prompt, I'm just going with something super simple. Use the same woman and the desert environment as the first image, but change the pose to match the second reference photo. Make it cinematic, realistic, and blend her seamlessly into the scene. Then I click create, and as you can see, the result came out looking really cool. She's now standing in this kind of model-looking pose, and just changing up her pose completely transforms the photo. It goes from looking a bit plain to looking like a proper modeling shot. But now let me also show you how you can change up the angle. You just upload your photo, this can be in a new chat or the same one, and then for the prompt, I'll just keep it simple. High drone shot, same woman as reference, face must remain identical to the reference photo. And the result we got back is really impressive. She's now way further from the camera, still standing in the exact same pose with the exact same shadows, but the whole picture has expanded and looks really dramatic. But changing angles and environments is not where this model stops. You can even change the clothing of your character, and Nano Banana will still keep everything extremely consistent. So here's how you do that. You import both of your images, same process as before, and this time I'm going to use this flat layout fit image just to show you how good this model really is. It will literally take this outfit and bring it to life on the character, making it look super natural. So I paste in both images, and then my prompt is something like this. Same woman, same pose, desert background. She is wearing a light pink t-shirt, light blue denim shorts, and brown leather sandals. She has a light pink smartwatch on her wrist, black sunglasses on her face, and she is holding a brown leather wallet casually in her hand. Now you could actually go with an even simpler prompt and still get decent results. I've had that work before, but it never hurts to add a little more detail. That way you're almost guaranteed the AI follows your idea exactly. And here's the result we get back. As you can see, the model still looks exactly the same, but now she's dressed completely differently, and it looks extremely realistic, the shorts fit perfectly, the clothes look natural on her body, and most importantly, she still stays consistent. You don't actually need a reference image for everything in Nano Banana. And that's what makes it really powerful, because it allows you to create some really big changes really fast. So as you can see, we already changed up the style of our character earlier, and now without any reference images at all, I'm just going to change her style again. So I'll write something like, change her outfit to a black leather jacket, ripped jeans, and sneakers, but the face must remain identical to the reference photo. And instantly we've got a completely different outfit, and it looks natural. But you can also change the background without touching the character. So I'll just write, place her in a sunny beach environment with sand and ocean waves behind her, keep her face unchanged. And just like that, she's in a totally different background, still consistent, still looking like the same person. You can even take it further because you can do the exact same thing with poses. For example, I'll write, keep the environment but change her pose to a sitting position on the ground, one knee up looking at the camera. And instantly we get back a new image of her sitting down, posing with one leg lifted, and again, she still looks exactly like the original character we started with. And finally, you can even change the whole style of the photo itself. Let's say I write, place her inside a modern car, driver's seat, hands on the steering wheel, looking slightly towards the camera. And we get a completely different picture of her now sitting in a car, still looking exactly the same, but the whole idea of the photo has been completely transformed. So now you know how to create consistent characters with Nano Banana that stay the same no matter what kind of environment, pose, or outfit you throw at them. And honestly, that opens up a lot of possibilities. You can put your character into any background, change their style completely, make them pose however you want, and still keep everything looking natural and consistent for free. This is the kind of thing that can really unlock a lot of possibilities, whether you're making making content for social media, experimenting with different concepts, or just having fun pushing the AI to its limits. So yeah, go ahead and try it out yourself. I'll leave all the links down in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.